Talk a bit about the value of having a guy like Dejan Edwards or Kendall Milton when you're trying to punch those touchdowns in the red zone.
Oh yeah, Kendall, he's a bigger back, so it's harder for people, to wrap him up, and he runs physical too. And Dejan, he's so small, and he gets, when he gets down there, it's hard to see him, and then he'll just crease through it, and he might bust one for a deep run. So it's very valuable to have him too. And then Kendall too, he'll run through somebody's face too. Oh yeah.
Hi, Warren. Being from Brunswick, just curious on your thoughts of the Georgia-Florida game growing up, and obviously having a lot of people, kind of Georgia students, come down to that area. What's your thought process on how it was growing up?
Oh yeah, growing up is always was a huge experience. Everybody comes into town, cookout. Just all the family come back into town. My uncles, they'll normally come down for it. So, growing up, that was just a huge experience for me.
Obviously, you guys score 55 points on Saturday. Where do you think that you have improved as a whole offense in the past 3-4 weeks?
Being more consistent, being more consistent on third downs and in the red zone too. Scoring touchdowns once we get down there. Just keep pushing forward, getting better at that every week.
From looking at yourselves and self-scouting and stuff over the past couple of days, where is this offense right now? Do you think y'all had a bit of a lull there for a while? Where are y'all at as an offense heading into this home stretch of the season?
We definitely had our struggles. A lot of penalties were messing us up. We weren't scoring in the red zone, so we had get back to work and figure out that stuff. And then just little mistakes that we were messing up on that was preventing us from having those huge plays and bringing us back and all that type of stuff.
Offensive line was on the midseason list for the Joe Moore Award today. Just how exciting is that for this group, and where do you think y'all have improved the most over the course of 7 games?
Yeah, I just saw that actually walking up here. That's a huge accomplishment for us, but we want to win it. Being on the list, we're excited and we're thankful for being on it, but we want to win it. And I think we've become more consistent in the run game, but we have to do better. Still little stuff that we need to fix, and yeah.
So can you talk about how much of a weapon it is to have two backs like Milton and McIntosh that have they obviously can do both in the run and the passing game, but having McIntosh in the passing game and having Milton as a good in the run game, how much of a weapon that is to have for Georgia offense?
Oh yeah, it definitely spreads the defense out too. Because you may put Kenny out there, and that drags the linebacker out, and so now he's 1-on-1 with Kenny. So we really like that, and then we will have Kendall may fake it out there and run it right up the middle with Kendall. So it's a huge value.
You keep mentioning like little things that are holding y'all back. Is that execution little things? Is it lack of focus stuff like penalties? Like what are the little things you've seen and then y'all are really focused on improving?
Definitely penalties, penalties, and then technique stuff. Not taking the right step. Not having your hand where you need it, not having the correct hat placement and stuff like that, prevents us from, having big runs.
Nolan, who we're going to hear from in a minute, from Savannah, makes big plays in this game last year. Can you tell that the Georgia-Florida game maybe means a little bit more to him, or he's maybe a little bit more amped up going into this game, given he's from that area and what he's done in the past for this team in that game?
Oh yeah, last year he had a great game. I think he had a strip fumble, and then he didn't catch the pick, but he tipped it, right? Trayvon.
No, Trayvon picked it, and I think he
tipped it.
And Trayvon, and he picked it.
Oh yeah, but Nolan, he plays like that every game. He's always amped up. He's always ready to play. As soon as we get in the locker room, he's talking, he's making sure everybody's locked in, and we're all ready to go.
Warren, as an offensive lineman, how valuable is a bye week as far as just wear and tear and trying to get through an entire SEC slate as an offensive lineman?
Oh yeah, it's definitely. We love it, even though we're still going to come in this week and try to get better, work on the things we need to. But, definitely not having a game this week helps us, get back in the recovery room, getting a little aches and stuff back normal.
Can you talk a bit about where you've seen Stetson grow from last year to this year? And obviously you guys go to a lot of the passing game now. What kind of allowed him to grow from where you stood on the field?
I think just being more vocal. This year he's been way more vocal than he was last year. He's making sure everybody getting in the right spots. And then at practice, he's just picking us up, making sure everybody's ready to go.
Do you find it valuable to go over some teams during this open week that you're going to face later in the season in terms of learning some of the concepts or some of the schemes? Do you recall when those games come up later?
Wait, what'd you say? Can you repeat that for me?
Kirby said that you guys are kind of touching on some of the opponents that you'll face in the next 5 games. Do you remember that as those game weeks come up in terms of the concepts or schemes that you learned? Is it valuable to learn?
Oh yeah, we started a little bit from each team, and when that week comes up, you'll remember it. It'll click for you once we get out there and we start doing the rest. It'll click for you like, oh yeah, we did this during the bye week. So yeah, it definitely helps.
This is kind of me just being curious from a football standpoint. So obviously a blocking scheme is different from what the skill players are doing, but how valuable is it as an offensive lineman to also know the action of the skill players with every play? That way, you know that my purpose for doing this scheme is to get this guy in this hole or something like that. How valuable is it to just know what the other players are doing, not just the offensive line?
Oh yeah, it's definitely valuable. You look at Marcus Rosen. Most of our big plays, he's out there blocking on the perimeter too. He's helping us block on the perimeter so we can bust those outside zones when they have to bounce out. He's out there blocking, so he helps us make good have big runs too. So.
Morton, how different does a bye week look for a player, and does it allow you to do anything interesting outside of football, or is it still kind of a regimented kind of week?
It's still the same. The only thing, I'll probably go home this weekend, see the family, relax, watch a little football, but during the week we're still grinding, we're working. Man, thank you all.
Thank you.